Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of Undying Light, the 4th studio record by the band Fallujah. Today we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of it, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band is quite simple. I've stumbled upon their song Cerebral Hybridization over 12 years ago. It's from their first record, The Harvest Wombs. I was like, this song is fantastic. It reminds me of my favorite band, Decrepit Birth, their second record, Diminishing Between Worlds. I was like, I have to check out their entire discography. And imagine my surprise when I started from the beginning. So I've listened through their first EP, Leper Colony from 2009, and it was deathcore. I was like, what the hell is this? I actually do enjoy deathcore, but I was like, wow, such a different vibe from what they've done next, because Harvest Wombs, I just love that first record. It's such a fun, prog, death metalish album. Every song there slaps. Then the Nomadic EP came out in 2013. I was there, I listened through it, I was like, this is amazing. And since then, basically the band always sounds the same. Like, the guitarist Scott has such a unique sounding guitar riffs and solos. They remind me of the ocean, swimming in the water or just, on a boat. There are some big sea monsters out there. This is what I see when I'm listening to this band. After the Nomadic EP, that 2014 album came out, I forgot its title, sorry, and I loved it. It had 8 songs, every single one of them was a banger. Then the third record came out, Dreamless, and that's the first one where I was slightly disappointed. Don't get me wrong, I loved the singles, The Void Alone, Scar Queen, stuff like that, but the interludes, there were too many interludes, they were annoying me, everything else was on point. After that record, the original vocalist Alex Hoffman left the band and they hired a new guy who's only on this record, Antonio Palermo. He wrote all of the lyrics on this record and the music was composed by Scott Carstairs, as you can see here. He's the founding member of the band. When it comes to the rest of the lineup, we've got Robert Murray on the bass. It's his last record with the band, sadly. He was here since the beginning, I think, and Andrew Bird on the drums. He left after the next record. And as you can see here, also the producer, Mark Lewis, did some vocals and drums. Nice. And Nick did the cover art, which is very nice. It's iconic. I love this big eye. Cool stuff. The production done by Mark and Scott, it's tight, it's flawless. I love how it sounds, especially how the guitars are mixed. You can hear the bass very well. The drumming sounds tight. Same with the vocals, like the production is top notch. I have nothing to complain about. When it comes to the message on this record, it's diverse. The songs are about personal struggles, some philosophy stuff. It's actually hard to tell what the songs are about. My favorite lyrics are on the tracks Dopamine, Sanctuary and Eyes Like the Sun. Go read them, they're quite fascinating. I do focus more on how the vocals sound and the music, and the message is always the last, so I wouldn't care if these songs were about, Crash Bandicoot video game. It wouldn't change my opinion about the music or the vocals. When it comes to the structure, it's advanced, which means the songs have an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then a change, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, a guitar solo, at least 1 or 3 guitar solos, somewhere between that amount. Then we've got a long outro usually, which is very atmospheric and nostalgic, and that's fine. So that's the structure basically on almost every song here. When it comes to the music, it's described as progressive death metal, but I would actually slightly change that statement because that's what Wikipedia page says and the band themselves, but I feel like this record is more experimental in its nature. Sure, we've got the prog metal elements, the death metal elements, but also slight nu metal and alternative music vibes going on, which is very nice. Many people were disappointed by this record because the instrumental work is not as technical as it was on the previous albums. Here it's much more focused on the atmosphere, the vibe, how the songs basically create a very distinct atmosphere, and many people did not enjoy that. I actually do, I don't mind it at all. I feel like it was a good change for the band. It was basically something different. And because of that, the structure is not as technical as on the previous records. The songs are basically much simpler in their nature. Let's move on to the first song on the record, Glass House. The first thing I'm going to notice here is the drumming. The drummer Andrew is very talented. I love his double bass work, the occasional blast beat sections, the groove, the style, the precision of his playing. I love how the snare sounds, how basically he makes the song so groovy and like more tribal, I would say. Next we've got the bass. It's audible, it sometimes follows the guitars, and sometimes the bassist and the drummer are playing on their own with the vocals in the background, and I just love those moments. Are much more introspective and they have that ambience about them. So yeah, the bassist is killing it on this record. Like, this is the most amount you're going to hear the bassist on a Fallujah record. Like, the other albums don't have that much prominent bass stuff. Next we've got the guitar riffs by Scott. I must say that Scott is the star of this band. Like, I love every single lead guitar work he does on this record, the guitar solos, the riffs, so much fun, so atmospheric, so pure in their sound. I just love every single section here. I've listened through this record at least 2000 times because of how good the vibe is, the ambience, the atmosphere. Every song sounds so nostalgic and just reminds me of good times, you know, of the ocean. So that's just perfect. I love it. Scott has that quality to him, to his playing, where you will always recognize that it's him. Like, from the first note, you know that this is a Fallujah record to the last song. Like, yeah, it's Fallujah, it's Scott. You feel that, the emotions in his riffs and the solos. Perfect, just perfect. And next we've got the vocals. The vocalist, Antonio, he doesn't growl like the previous original vocalist Alex, who was growling all the time, shit like that. And here Antonio is basically screaming and something like that. And it's very emotional to the point that it might remind you of metalcore or deathcore or nu metal, whatever. And he's also using a lot of clean vocals, which have that old school Deftones vibe to them. So yeah, they're very nu metalish sounding, and that's also something that the fanbase was not prepared for, because the previous records did not have almost any clean vocals except the female guest vocalist who would come in and sing some stuff in the background. So yeah, that was a big change for this band, and for me personally it worked, because I do enjoy nu metal, I like Deftones, I like the screaming, the singing, it's perfect, it complements each track. It works, it just works. I might get a lot of hate for this because the new Fallujah record from 2022 came out and I just hate the clean singing on it. Like, I do enjoy that vocalist screaming and growling, like he's growling, screaming. And he's a cool guy, he has his own band and I do enjoy his work, but the cleans he does on that 2022 record, I hate them, I cannot stand them. So I am actually quite sad that the band let go of Antonio. His vocal performance on Undying Light is just flawless to me, and I wish he would stay with the band, but I guess Scott let him go because the fanbase wouldn't stop crying about it, that the vocals are different. And to me, sometimes a change is a positive thing, and here in this case, it was a positive thing. You might not agree with me. Okay, that's fine, we all got our preferences, but I did love the clean vocals here, the screaming, it fitted the music. And the previous vocalist also fitted the music, I love the growling, and the new vocalist also is killing it when it comes to the screams and the growls, but his singing is just terrible to me. So going back to the Glasshouse track, this one starts with a long intro, some guitar riffs, then we've got some drumming, cool riffs, and the vocals, great stuff. I love the lead guitar work here. You might even call them a guitar solos. They're fun, so majestic, so pure sounding. The ocean vibe is strong here. I love every single second of this song. I don't know what else should I tell you about it, because There are no flaws here, 11 out of 10. So the Last Light might not be the most complicated song in Fallujah's discography, but it works from beginning to the end. Every single section is flawless. I love the guitar riffs here, especially in the chorus and the bridge. And the outro, 11 out of 10. Ultraviolet. Now this one was released as a single from this record. It was the first single. I remember the hatred this song got, like everyone was just shitting on it. They were like, this is awful, Fallujah has ended, it's garbage, it's generic. I was listening through it and I was like, this is actually great, like it's different than the previous record, but it has a magical power in it. Like I just love it. It's very simple, like don't get me wrong, I know that it's simple, but I just love the atmosphere here, the riffs, the vocals, love the chorus and the outro, just so much fun. I don't know why people don't enjoy this song, like I get it that it's not as technical as the previous work, but besides that, what's not to love here? Like it's the same band. 11 out of 10, Dopamine. Now this might be controversial to hear, but this is my favorite Fallujah song. This one and then the hybridization track from the Harvest Wombs. Dopamine is great from beginning to the end, like it was released as a second single from the record, and since I first heard it I just fell in love with this track. The main guitar riff, you know, in the background, that melody, and then the vocals come in, we are falling, that melody in the background is just so much fun. It's so captivating, it's hypnotizing. And what I love about this song the most is that you can clearly hear the bass throughout the entire song, and especially in the outro, you know, we've got that very melodic atmospheric guitar riff in the background, you know, that and the bass is like boom 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 boom. Love that stuff. It has groove, it has style to it, it's original. I wouldn't change anything in this one. Actually, this might be even my second favorite song in the entire world, because I've heard this one, you know, at least 6,000 times. I just love it. I would listen to it every day since it was released. I remember I had my friend from Germany come over to my house. He was supposed to be here for 2 weeks, but we had so much fun that he stayed for a half a year, and we would do some grilling, you know, and we would just blast this record in the background. The neighbors would be like, what the hell is going on? We were like, Dopamine, that's the stuff. So yeah, great stuff, you know, barbecue and Undying Light in the background. So those are some of my fondest memories while listening to this record, and Dopamine is the best song, like the vocals, the abortion over God. The lyrics go hard, it's so much fun. Liars! Thieves! Just screaming. Love that stuff. 13 out of 10. The Ocean Above. Now this track is just the ocean, like I wonder if James Cameron would love this song, because James Cameron loves the ocean, the water. And this one, I might surprise you, but this is my least favorite song on the record. It's still perfect, and I love that the vocalist does a blech sound, like in the first minute, that blech. I just love that. And the middle part of the song is very atmospheric, you know, we've got some ocean noises in the background, the guitar is love that stuff, like it's so fun to listen to. It would fit a video game for sure. I just like it the least. It's perfect, it's a legendary track, I never skip it, I love every single second of it, but if I had to choose the weakest song on the record, I would choose this one. I don't know why, it's just the weakest one, but it's perfect, I love every single second of it. 11 out of 10. Hello. Another banger. I love the intro, the fact that you can hear the bass clearly and the bassist is doing stuff different from the guitarist. The vocals slap, the solo's perfect, the bridge, the outro, hell yeah. 11 out of 10. Sanctuary. Now this is one of those songs that even the hardcore old school fans are like, yeah, Sanctuary is the only song I've enjoyed from Undying Light. They say stuff like that. I actually have one friend who says that, like, Sanctuary is the only song that sounds like Fallujah on this record. I'm like, nah, every song sounds like Fallujah here. And this one, yeah, it has slight dreamless vibes to it when it comes to the main guitar riff. I just love everything about this song, from the main guitar riff to that cool lead guitar rock. Just every single second. The blast beat section, the drumming, the vocals, it's phenomenal. 11 out of 10. Eyes Like the Sun. This is my second favorite song here. I just love the intro, the vocals, the singing is so passionate, so full of emotions, the guitar riffs, so nostalgic, so original. My favorite part about this track, besides the chorus, is the outro, because it's very long, it has that ambient vibe to it, you know, that very simple but catchy guitar melody. And the drummer in the background is doing a lot, you know, fills and snare sounds, stuff like that. Now I was like, wow, just wow, this is perfect, a perfect song to listen to while you're taking a bath. 12 out of 10. Distant and Cold. This is basically an interlude, it's over 4 minutes long. It's the most ambient sounding track on the record, and the most atmospheric one, that's for sure. I love how it basically gets better with each new listen. Like, when I first heard this record, I was like, this is clearly the weakest song on the record, like, it's boring me. But after I've heard this record hundreds of times, this song grew on me, like, it became better. The song is growing, like, it's very calm at the beginning, and then the tension is building up to that final cool melody. Dum dum dum. Time slips away, a feeling faster. Slow down, slow down. Love the vocals so captivating, so beautiful. 11 out of 10. And the final song on the standard edition, Departure. Now this song is a banger. I love the intro here, and then the cool vocals come in, the guitar riffs, the drumming, the bass sound, all is fantastic. The chorus slaps, and I love the screaming in the outro. The outro is so passionate, so it's like a triumph of this record. Like, we are finally at the end, and they are giving us their best ending, you know, everyone is playing at their best. I just love it. I'm almost crying here because of how good this song is at the end. Departure is perfect, and it's so sad that we are never going to get another album with this lineup, you know, this vocalist, this bassist, this drummer, like, all of them are gone. They are not in the band anymore, and it makes me so sad. 11 out of 10. And now let's talk about the song Dead Tongue. Now this one is a Japanese bonus track. I was trying to get a hold of it and I couldn't find any information about it online, so I asked this cool dude, Joel, and he sent this song to me and I could listen through it. And he also uploaded it on YouTube for all of you to hear, so if you want to check it out, then just you will find it on YouTube on his channel, Joel. So thank you, Joel, for that. And I must say that he even told me that this song is on Fallujah's Patreon page, which is quite surprising because I couldn't even find information that they had a Patreon page to begin with. So I was like, great job, Fallujah. That Tongue is here. Everyone can enjoy this song without any problems, and it's a full song with vocals, and I must say that it's perfect. I have no clue why this song was left out from the record, because it sounds like another fantastic track from Undying Light. The only flaw I see in this track is that the intro, which later repeats in the track, is a little bit too long, but everything else is on point, like the verses, the vocals, the singing, the screaming, the bridge, the guitar solos, the outro. It's just so fantastic, like, it made me cry that I could listen to it. And it was more of the same, more of the great stuff from Undying Light. And if it were up to me, I would probably replace the ocean above with this song, because to me it's slightly better than that one. But besides that, I wouldn't change a single thing here, so 11 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable, the flow is ideal, replayability, yeah, it's a timeless record. It's easily in my top 10 records of all time, probably at number 2 or 3, because of how unique it sounds and how every guitar riff is emotional. It tells a story, the vibe, the ocean vibe, it's just one of a kind. Whenever I put up a song from this record, I can't stop listening to it. Like, if someone plays a song from this record in my vicinity, I will have to go through the entire record again. Like, I won't be able to just listen to one song. If I hear Dopamine, I will have to restart the entire record, listen through the entire thing again, because it's so fun. Like, it's a story and it works as a one entity. Maybe listening to these songs on their own doesn't make such an impact as listening to the entire thing, but to me it's a perfect record because it flows so well, the songs complement each other, every song is interesting, even Distant and Cold, which at first when I first heard that one 5 years ago I was like, it's kinda boring, but it grew on me. That's a thing that is hard to do because usually it's the other way around. The more you hear some songs, the less interesting they become. But here it's the other way around. The more you're listening to the Undying Light, the more fun it is. And I feel like people don't enjoy this record. It got negative reviews because it's something different from the previous records, which were more technical. They had growling instead of screaming and singing. I guess people's expectations were very high, like they've listened through Dreamless and they wanted Dreamless too. And this is basically not it. This is something different, but it's pure, it's unique, it's fun, it's atmospheric, it's full of interesting ideas. This one is about the atmosphere and the vibe. I have no clue why people don't enjoy this record, to be quite honest. And it breaks my heart that the band got so much hate that half of the band members left the band after this one. And also, I guess we will never hear these songs live because no one wants to hear them except me, and I will never get Undying Light 2, which makes me sad. Like, I'm not a billionaire, like, I am not going to call Scott and tell him, yeah, I will give you $10 million, just write me another Undying Light. No, this will not happen. Like, I am not rich, I cannot do that. So it breaks my heart that I will never hear a record that is so fun and so atmospheric like this one ever again. Celebrate Rossi by spinning this record today. It deserves your love and attention. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, and if you want you can support me on Patreon. Links in the description. Bye!